At 5,100 meters above sea level, every breath delivers barely half the oxygen your body needs. There's no running water, no sewage, no paved road in or out. Yet tens of thousands of people call this place home. This is LA Rinconada, Peru, the highest permanently inhabited city on Earth, where survival is a daily negotiation with the mountain. The question isn't how they endure it, it's why. On this frozen ledge in the high Andes, the rules of biology and geography say nothing should thrive. Yet walking these narrow, unpaved streets, you do not find a temporary outpost of transient laborers. Instead, you find a fully realized community. Families bundle against the below-zero chill, children navigate icy pathways to school, and vendors sell fresh produce brought up the steep mountain slopes. This is a city of permanence built where merely breathing is a struggle. It is a place where thousands have decided that the freezing winds of the glacier are preferable to the lives they left behind. To understand how they survive here is to look past the geographical extremity and step into the rhythm of their daily lives. Nobody climbs to 5,100 meters for comfort. They come for the singular, blinding promise of a different life. Most residents here migrated from the rural farmlands of Puno and Cusco, where repeated crop failures and deep poverty left them with few choices. In those quiet valleys, the future was predictable and meager. Up here, despite the biting cold and suffocating air, there is a chance. It is the raw pull of the gold lottery, the belief that one lucky strike, one rich vein, can rewrite a family's history forever. This ambition transforms a barren glacier into a place of logical pursuit. To a farmer who has watched his crops freeze, year after year, the risk of the mountain becomes a rational trade. They do not survive this frozen outpost out of passive endurance. They stay because the freezing wind carries the faint, intoxicating scent of possibility. At 5,100 meters, the atmosphere contains only half the oxygen found at sea level. With every breath, a miner's lungs strain against thin, empty air. To survive, the human body forces itself into a state of permanent emergency compensation. Within weeks, the kidneys signal the bone marrow to produce a flood of oxygen-carrying red blood cells. Hemoglobin levels, which hover around 14 grams per deciliter at sea level, climb to extraordinary heights up here, sometimes reaching 24 grams. This biological shift allows the blood to capture every stray molecule of oxygen, keeping muscles moving in the freezing shafts. But this survival mechanism is a dangerous trade-off. As red blood cells multiply, the blood thickens, turning viscous and heavy. The heart must pump a sludge-like fluid through narrow vessels, straining the cardiovascular system. Over years of hard labor, this constant overload damages the organs, proving that adaptation here is a slow physical compromise rather than a victory. In the 1990s, prospectors discovered gold veins beneath the Anania Glacier, transforming a quiet highland outpost into a massive, unregulated boomtown. Between 2001 and 2009, the global price of gold surged by over 200%, drawing tens of thousands of hopeful migrants up the treacherous mountain tracks. Today, this frozen economy operates entirely outside formal regulation. There are no payrolls, no safety inspectors, and no guaranteed salaries. Instead, the entire city runs on an extreme labor system known as cacorio. Under this arrangement, miners must work for more than 20 days straight without a single cent of guaranteed pay. They spend these weeks drilling, blasting, and hauling heavy ore for the mine operators, enduring freezing temperatures and thin air for free. Only when their unpaid shift ends do they receive their compensation, a single day, or sometimes just a few hours, to mine the rock for themselves. Whatever gold they chisel out during this brief window is theirs to keep. It is a grueling lottery, where a miner might find a life-changing vein or walk away with absolutely nothing. While gold fortunes flow through these frozen mountains, the physical city of La Rinconada remains a skeletal shell. Tens of thousands of residents live here, yet the most basic urban assumptions completely break down. There is no municipal sewage system and no reliable running water. Because the town's explosive growth far outpaced any formal public planning, the streets remain unpaved, improvised channels of mud and garbage. Human waste and gray water flow directly into open, hand-carved drainage ditches that freeze solid overnight. For daily survival, families must collect melting glacial runoff, use contaminated streams, or buy expensive clean water from delivery trucks. This lack of sanitation is a constant physical hazard, turning the simple act of staying clean into a grueling chore. With municipal services completely absent, a practical question remains. How do the food, fuel, and gear required to sustain this massive, isolated population actually reach the highest mountain peak? A narrow, unpaved dirt track carved directly into the mountain cliffs is the only link between La Rinconada and the rest of Peru. This rough road stretches over 200 kilometers to the nearest paved highway, serving as the city's fragile lifeline. During the wet season, sudden landslides block this route for weeks, stopping vehicles entirely. When the road cuts out, the supply chain shifts to the shoulders of local porters and mule trains, navigating treacherous, icy trails. For shopkeepers in the market, every delivery is a high-stakes gamble against the elements. Because of these immense transport hurdles, daily staples like rice, beans, and cooking oil cost up to 3 times more here than in lower cities like Lima. On these freezing peaks, daily survival begins with the grueling physical effort of hauling every single meal up the mountain. Long before dawn breaks over Mount Ananea, kerosene stoves flicker to life inside shivering, tin-walled homes. Miners pull on stiff, frozen boots, stepping into the sub-zero darkness to begin 12-hour shifts inside the mountain. Behind them, the daily survival of the household falls entirely to the women and children. Outside the mine entrances, hundreds of women known as palaqueras spend their days bent over sharp glacial scree, hand-sorting discarded rock for mist flakes of gold. Nearby, young boys swing heavy iron hammers to crush stone, their daily routines dictated by the biting cold and the family's immediate need for cash. In this frozen outpost, family life is a shared struggle, organized around the freezing weather and the constant search for gold. This struggle eventually breaks even the strongest bodies. Years of oxygen starvation cause chronic mountain sickness, a progressive illness affecting 16 to 31% of male residents. Sufferers face a daily tide of headaches, dizziness, fatigue, and severe breathlessness. Yet the town's modest health posts lack basic diagnostic tools, leaving these workers to manage their failing health in isolation. This constant physical vulnerability merges with immediate physical danger inside the earth. On March 18, 2025, a sudden shaft collapse at the Santa Maria Lunar de Oro mine killed 4 workers, demonstrating the violent reality of the labor. Here, the greatest threat is not a single catastrophe, but the quiet, accumulated strain of surviving a place that was never meant for human life. This frozen outpost behaves like a breathing organism. The population expands and contracts by the tens of thousands, fluctuating alongside global gold prices. Within this shifting environment, ancient Quechua traditions quietly ground daily life. Miners still scatter coca leaves and offer anise to the apus, invoking the mountain spirits before descending into the dark. Yet the ecological shadow of this work stretches far past these ridges. Toxic mercury, used in gold processing, washes into local headwaters, eventually contaminating the Amazon basin. For those who stay, these severe realities have simply become the background of daily life. On these frozen, breathless slopes, the gold still glitters, drawing thousands to the ragged edge of human survival. In this silent, punishing cold, endurance is a daily choice. How far would you push your limits for a better life? Share your thoughts below.